Hi everyone, my name is Jenny Tonkin and I'm Senior Demand Generation Marketing Manager here at Iterable. I'm here with Amalia.
Hi everyone, I'm Amalia Beckman. I'm an Enterprise Customer Success Manager here at Iterable.
Today we're here to talk to you about welcome campaigns. We're going to be talking about some examples in the beauty industry, but the trends and recommendations here apply to everyone in the retail and e-commerce space. Well, let's dive in. What's a welcome campaign? Put simply, the welcome campaign is the first impression. It sets the stage for a great life cycle journey and gives consumers a glimpse into the value that comes from being a subscriber. It can also serve as a brand guide where you can show how to navigate some of your offerings and products.
I like how you've put that. A great welcome campaign to me will always make me feel good about joining and be a friendly teacher that helps me see how to make the most of subscribing to that brand's marketing. Really, a great welcome campaign can help a brand stand out, and it sets the tone for a closer relationship with the user.
That's a great point. It's also a great segue for us to look at some effective trends we've seen brands use in their welcome campaigns. Maybe we'll even have a few examples. The first one we've alluded to is listing out the benefits of subscribing. These can be as simple as free shipping or a first look at new products. They can also be more specific, like describing the benefits of a premium membership. The point is, you're providing more value by saying what's in it for them.
Absolutely. With this trend, you're taking the opportunity to build your brand's value, and you're also building trust by setting expectations. For example, this would be a good opportunity to be clear about the message cadence a recipient should expect.
I love when brands do that because it makes it a lot easier to find their emails. Let's take a look at an example. This email from e.l.f. Cosmetics nails it. They include a list of perks that new subscribers can expect. The great thing about this is you know right off the bat what you get as a subscriber, and the list is easy to read.
Yeah, this is a great example. I like how the messaging is laid out here, and you definitely get a sense of the brand's voice. Pleased to perk you. It's cheeky and makes you feel like it's an indulgence. That is valuable.
Something like that really gives you a sense of what the brand is all about, which brings us to trend number 2, company values. Consumers these days, myself included, love brands they can trust and ones that share the same values as them.
Couldn't agree with you more on this trend, Jenny. Definitely seeing many examples of this. People are focusing more than ever on their own values and how those align with brands that they use. Letting your customers in on your company's story builds a connection that can't be overvalued.
It can also be a great way to track user engagement and preferences. Lush mastered this in its welcome campaign by combining data collection with brand identity. At the bottom of the first email you get from Lush, you'll see 6 icons showcasing the company values. The great part about this is that each icon has a unique URL, so the company can track which values speak to their customer base.
Yeah, the architecture of this is really smart. It's perfect for picking up on what individually motivates their user base while making it easier to personalize future communications. In platforms like Iterable, it's surprisingly a low-tech effort option for personalization too. Low effort for high reward is the type of win we all want.
Speaking of personalization and segmentation, our third trend is a great example of this: recommendations. We're used to recommended products in promotions, but not necessarily the welcome campaign. This has started to change. It might seem odd to recommend products as the first thing a user sees. I mean, you don't really know much about them at this point, right? But that's exactly why offering up recommendations is actually a great idea.
Yes, here you don't want to use phrasing that's assumptive about the individual's preferences, but something like top trending products is going to highlight what others users like and also lets the user know what sort of things your brands excel at.
That's a great point. We saw something similar to this in a message from Beauty Bay. They even doubled down on it in their welcome email. First, you see a collage of products labeled as must-haves. When you click into this, you're basically sent into an editor's pick list, kind of like the best of Beauty Bay. The second set of recommendations is a selection of 3 items for the user to consider.
Something like the must-haves are a perfect example. Data feeds are a powerful resource many brands use to easily make recommendations based on what's trending at the moment the campaign sends. For a low-tech effort option, you could alternatively build a snippet that you update, say monthly, with top products and feature this in multiple communications. When you're ready to update, you just need to update your snippet and it'll propagate to any campaigns that are using it.
It's so interesting to see how simple these can be. I think it's a good time to switch from trends to seeing how we can put these to work in our welcome campaigns. The first way to optimize your welcome campaigns is through progressive profiling. Amalia, can you tell us a little bit about what progressive profiling is?
Sure, and this is something that a lot of my customers do. Progressive profiling is a method of collecting information from your leads in small bits rather than asking a dozen questions at once. An example of this is the values from the Lush example. It's just one data point rather than overloading the user or making something feel like a survey.
I see. So it's more like learning about someone through a conversation. Instead of asking a million questions at once and then stopping, there's more of a back and forth.
Exactly. Progressive profiling is a great source for dynamic content too. You can use it to influence future communications, build segmentation, and create extended onboarding campaigns. You don't need to get everything out in one message. Take your time, build out a comprehensive experience for users. This way, you can create opportunities for more versatile experiments too.
I'm glad you brought up dynamic content. This brings us to our next recommendation: leverage your data. By using data feeds, you can templatize routine emails to stay connected with users while saving yourself time building campaigns.
Yeah, I brought up data feeds earlier, but I'll go into more detail here because data feeds are a game changer. We mentioned top products and must-haves, but it could also be your most recent blog articles or product reviews, whatever makes and brings value to your customer relationship. Also, one of the things that you can do with data feeds is set up a recurring campaign. So maybe in your welcome email, you highlight top products, and then you can repurpose that same feed to set up weekly top product emails. They'll automatically update when they go out, keeping things fresh.
That sounds a lot like Catalog.
It is, but with some key differences. In Catalog, you actually bring that inventory into Iterable, and then the marketer can play with what and how to display that inventory from there. For example, show me up to 3 bestsellers in the lips category with 5-star reviews. In the data feed scenario, updating that criteria would be done by an engineer, whereas with Catalog, the marketer can design in this criteria. Catalog also allows you to use something like favorite feature rather than just saying lips category. So at the individual level, you're really catering to what would better motivate that user. Favorite feature is something you could get from the account setup process. So yeah, definitely leverage your data and then go and apply that across channels.
You know, the cross-channel experience isn't something we've touched on yet, but it brings us to our third recommendation: go cross-channel. It's a huge aspect of any campaign, not just welcome and onboarding campaigns. We've seen some companies send similar messages via email and push, e.l.f. Cosmetics being an example.
Yeah, I like to say meet your customer where they are. Different generations and demographics are showing different preferences for channels. So depending on the value and content, the customer might prefer one over the other. As the marketer, it's smart to explore less expensive channels to see how messaging through a different medium works for your audience.
And make sure you have access to all data across all the different channels. Avoiding data silos should be a top priority. Well, there you have it. We hope you've enjoyed this look at welcome campaigns and found a few nuggets you can put to work right away. For a bit more about these campaigns and so much more, check out our guide, From Drab to Glam, a how-to guide for giving your retail marketing a red carpet-worthy makeover. Click the link in the description below to download and more. Thanks so much for joining. We'll see you here next time when we talk about promotions. Bye for now.